Right then, just flying time once again. Yeah, interesting bit today is we've got a wind at 160 and it's 15 knots. Only going to be 20 degrees off the wind direction on this runway, so we should be okay taking off, I'm thinking. Doing okay so far. Yeah, that was quite uneventful, which is never a bad thing to say when you're flying a plane. Not going to guarantee the rest of the flight will go the same, but we'll try. Yeah, perfectly timed, saying we're hoping for an uneventful flight just as the stall warning goes off, but would you try and ignore that? Yeah, okay then, so that was NZHA Hawera, and we'll have a short trip up to the new one, NZSD Stratford. On this not exactly perfect for flying kind of day, but there seems to be enough room underneath the cloud base for us, so yeah, fingers crossed we should be okay. I think this is the general direction to take us to the east town of Stratford, which on their Wikipedia entry, the first paragraph says that Stratford is the 62nd largest urban area in New Zealand. Now I'm thinking that opening paragraph, if the best thing that you can think of to put is that you came 62nd at something, I'm going to guess that Stratford may not be one of the most exciting towns in the country. But fortunately they do have quite a nice airfield close by, which is all we need for today. And the scenery for it was actually something I'd started before my time away being ill. I'd finished all of the airports, made the buildings, added the fences, all that kind of thing, and I was then filling in all of the surrounding areas and had got maybe about 2/3 of that done as well, so yeah, there wasn't too much left to complete, and that was easy enough to finish this one off, so that's why we've now got this scenery. Although that has emptied my work in progress folder for now, and I'm probably not going to bother doing any more scenery making until the new year at least, so this one will have to do for a while. There certainly are other locations that could do with a similar custom build kind of overhaul, so I will be looking at some of those eventually. That's largely all I can do now, as we are running out of new places in New Zealand. Yeah, there's a few I found where the terrain has big slopes or bumps, so you couldn't operate a plane from there, and a few others that are nothing more than a grass runway really, so you wouldn't want to operate a plane from there. So yeah, new stuff, I'm probably going to struggle with that, but as I said, redoing some old scenery to make it better, yeah, that can certainly keep me busy. And yeah, this road, actually, is that Stratford just up there? Yeah, that looked like it was an urban area that could be number 62 on a list of urban areas. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, clouds, little bit of a problem. Well, not really a problem, just slightly annoying, although we do seem to have enough room to fly underneath them, even if it is a little bit lower than I would have ideally liked. I'm sure we'll be fine though. can see the airport up there, and New Zealand's 62nd largest urban area over to our left. Then with the wind, which is now 160.14 knots, there is a runway here aligned perfectly with that direction. So we'll ignore that runway completely, and we can then call this one a Windows 11 approach and landing. In other words, we'll come in on the other runway with a crosswind just to make things unnecessarily complicated with shit that would be obviously easier if you did it a different way, just like Windows 11. Surrounding area buildings and trees, which today we can say that they stretch for as far as the eye can see, as that's not very far, although brightening up a little bit here. Yeah, seems like we have a patch without the very low cloud, which is kind of nice and will help with lining ourselves up on finals, and that will do. We'll make the turn and set ourselves up for the unnecessarily complicated Windows 11 arrival, where we're still 160.14 knots according to the X-plane map, and we're going to be heading for runway 09, which means we will be coming in a little bit sideways. And actually, when the side window of your plane is a perfectly acceptable view of the airfield ahead, then yeah, a little bit blowy up here. It's not gusting or anything though. Fairly consistent winds, so we should be okay with that. Well, fingers crossed we will be. Let's see what we can do. Come on, get down. Okay, bit long. Yeah, a bit long for a landing, but there's a lot more runway here than we need to get something like a Baron stopped. And other than that, yeah, it's certainly not my best ever crosswind landing. Not my worst either, so you know, I think we can just label that one as adequate. My plane still has the same number of bits attached to it as when we started the flight, which is generally a good thing. Yeah, we'll go and park here, and that will do. Yeah, so there we have it, a little flight to the airport that's right near the 62nd most populated area in the whole of New Zealand, which you can get a copy of from my Org Forum upload or my mega folder. The airport scenery, that is, not the 62nd most populated town. I'll see you again next time. Bye.